We are emotional beings. Every day we experience a whirlwind of emotions, from joy and love to sadness and anger. These emotions shape our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions. We've been conditioned to label emotions as good or bad. It's time to embrace the full spectrum of our emotions. Each emotion carries valuable information and serves a purpose. By understanding our emotions, we unlock personal growth and resilience. Our societal conditioning often leads us to believe that happiness is the ultimate goal, and that negative emotions are something to be avoided. We strive for a life free from sadness, anger, and fear, mistakenly believing that these emotions are inherently detrimental to our well-being. This binary view of emotions, however, is not only inaccurate but also incredibly limiting. Negative emotions, while often uncomfortable, are not inherently bad or wrong. They are natural human responses to our environment and experiences. Anger, for instance, can signal a perceived injustice or a violation of our boundaries. Sadness can alert us to loss or disappointment, prompting us to seek support and connection. Fear can serve as a protective mechanism, warning us of potential threats or dangers. When we label these emotions as bad and attempt to suppress them, we miss out on the valuable information they provide. Instead of judging our emotions, let's approach them with curiosity and openness. By reframing our understanding of negative emotions, we can begin to see them as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. The first step in harnessing the power of negative emotions is to develop emotional awareness, the ability to recognize and acknowledge our emotions as they arise. Often we try to ignore or push down uncomfortable emotions, hoping they will simply disappear. However, suppressed emotions have a way of resurfacing, often with greater intensity or in unhealthy ways. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing, can help us cultivate greater awareness of our emotional landscape. By tuning into our physical sensations, thoughts, and behaviors, we can learn to identify the subtle and not so subtle ways in which different emotions manifest in our bodies and minds. Acceptance is equally important as awareness. This doesn't mean we have to like or condone our negative emotions, but rather that we acknowledge their presence without judgment or resistance. When we accept our emotions, we create space for them to move through us without controlling or overwhelming us. Recognizing and accepting our negative emotions helps us explore their messages. Every emotion, even negative ones, carries valuable information about our needs and boundaries. Anger often stems from perceived injustice or violated values. Ask yourself, what is this anger trying to tell me? Sadness can be a response to loss or disappointment. What am I grieving? What have I lost? Fear signals a perceived threat to our well-being. What am I afraid of? How can I prepare? Exploring the root cause of our emotions gives us valuable insights and helps us make informed choices. Section 5. Transforming anger into action. Channeling frustration for positive change. Anger, often viewed as a destructive force, can be a powerful catalyst for positive change when harnessed effectively. When we suppress anger, it can fester and manifest in unhealthy ways, such as passive aggression or outbursts of rage. However, when we acknowledge and channel anger constructively, it can fuel our passions, motivate us to take action, and inspire us to fight for what we believe in. The key to transforming anger into a positive force lies in shifting from reactivity to responsiveness. Instead of allowing anger to control our actions, we can learn to pause, reflect, and choose how we want to respond. This might involve identifying the source of our anger. What specific injustice or frustration is fueling this emotion? Setting healthy boundaries. How can we communicate our needs and limits assertively? And channeling our anger into constructive action. How can we use this energy to create positive change in our lives or communities? Section 6. Finding strength in sadness. Using grief as a catalyst for growth and empathy. Sadness, while often associated with pain and loss, can also be a profound source of strength, empathy, and connection. When we allow ourselves to fully experience our sadness, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Grief, a natural response to loss, can teach us valuable lessons about impermanence, resilience, and the preciousness of life. By allowing ourselves to grieve, we honor our pain and create space for healing and growth. Sadness can also foster empathy and compassion. When we connect with our own experiences of sadness, we become more attuned to the suffering of others and more likely to offer support and understanding. Instead of avoiding or suppressing sadness, let's create space to honor our grief, connect with our hearts, and allow sadness to transform us into more compassionate and understanding human beings. Section 7. Conquering fear and stepping into courage. Embracing vulnerability and taking risks. Fear, often perceived as an obstacle, can also be a powerful motivator for growth and self-discovery. When we allow fear to paralyze us, we miss out on opportunities for adventure, learning, and personal fulfillment. However, when we learn to acknowledge our fears and move forward in spite of them, we tap into our courage and unlock our true potential. Stepping outside of our comfort zones can be daunting, but it's often where we experience the greatest growth and transformation. By embracing vulnerability and taking calculated risks, we challenge our limiting beliefs, expand our horizons, and discover new levels of resilience and strength. Instead of viewing fear as a stop sign, let's reframe it as an invitation to step into our courage, embrace the unknown, and live a life filled with purpose and adventure. Section 8. Emotional empowerment. Harnessing the full potential of your emotional landscape. By embracing the full spectrum of our emotions, we unlock a world of possibilities for personal growth, resilience, and success. Instead of viewing negative emotions as roadblocks, we can learn to see them as powerful catalysts for positive change. Remember, emotional agility is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when we struggle to regulate our emotions, when we fall back into old patterns, or when we feel overwhelmed by the intensity of our feelings. Be kind to yourself during these times. Self-compassion is essential. As we cultivate greater emotional awareness, acceptance, and understanding, we empower ourselves to live more authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling lives. Embrace the power of your emotions and watch as you transform your life from the inside out.